Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're doing something a little different.
Yeah.
We often get into research papers, hard data, but sometimes the most profound insights come from somewhere else entirely.
From a story.
Exactly. We're looking at this powerful narrative today, a kind of thought experiment.
A really classic one.
The premise is, it's simple, but it's deep.
Yeah.
What if someone visits you in the middle of the night in your quietest, darkest moment,
Mm.
and that visitor is you?
But you from the future.
Right. And our mission today is to treat the wisdom from that encounter not as, some literary device, but as actionable data.
That's the key. We're unpacking the messages this future self delivers, and we're
Yeah.
turning them into practical insights for you right now. It's almost like a cheat sheet for dropping some of your heaviest emotional baggage.
So let's set the scene. You're in your room. It's quiet. It's still. A door opens gently.
And you feel this presence that's familiar, it's safe, it's comforting.
But then the shock hits. You realize the visitor is you.
But not the you of today, not the tired, maybe a little broken version. This future self is, well, the source is very clear on this.
Yeah, it lists 3 traits, non-negotiable.
Stronger, calmer, and happier. And the big one, whole. They look completely whole.
And that visual right there is the first piece of data.
Right.
It's an immediate rebuttal to whatever fear you're holding on to.
It is. That visual confirmation that you not only survive, but you actually thrive. That's the whole foundation. It tells you right away that whatever you're going through, it isn't the end of the story.
And from there, the first communication happens.
And this future self, they establish their credibility instantly.
They don't waste any time, no small talk. They lean in and they
Okay.
whisper exactly what you've been hiding from everyone.
They know, and I'm quoting here, what you're carrying.
The things you never say out loud.
The fears you hide, and the nights you cry quietly.
Oof.
Right. I mean, just think about what that acknowledgement does. It's the highest form of validation you could ever get.
Because it's internal. You're not having to explain it.
Yeah, exactly. You've been spending all this energy keeping up a front, maybe even for yourself. And suddenly, this region of you sees all of it clearly and with zero judgment.
The source says it allows you to finally breathe.
And your heart slows down. The burden of secrecy is just lifted.
And once that pressure valve is released, that's when the conversation really pivots. Because this future self, they didn't just come to sympathize.
No, they came to reframe.
And they hit you with the first major insight. The things you think are breaking you right now.
They're actually shaping you.
This is the big shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
From validation to
Yeah.
transformation.
It is. It redefines the pain, the burnout, the grief, whatever it is. It stops being destructive and becomes constructive.
Because they have the long view. They can see how the stress actually reinforced the structure, smoothed the edges.
Yeah, they see the finished product.
Okay, but I have to push back on that a little bit.
Go for it.
Because it's easy for the whole calm future self to look back and say, oh, that breakage was good for me.
Mm-hmm. Go from the finish line? Sure.
Yeah. But for the person who's in it, the destruction feels very, very real. So how does that insight become more than just a nice platitude?
That's a fair challenge. I think the power is in the certainty of the outcome.
Okay.
Right now, you believe the destruction might be a dead end. The future self knows it leads to a whole self.
So it changes how you see the pain in the moment.
Yes. It allows you to start treating it like, I don't know, like a tool, a weight you left in the gym. It hurts now, but you have proof that it's building strength for tomorrow. You can stop fighting the process and maybe start listening to it.
That makes sense. It's the difference between feeling like a victim of the situation and a student of it.
Well said.
So once that foundation is laid, you survive, the future self gets really specific. They address the 3 heaviest things we carry.
Our relationships, our opportunities, and our mistakes.
The 3 pillars of reframing. This is where it gets really interesting.
So let's start with pillar 1, relationships and loss. This is about, the sadness or the anger over people who've left your life. And the future self gives this powerful, almost fatalistic perspective. They say, the people who left, they were never meant to stay.
That's a hard pill to swallow.
Right.
Especially if you poured everything into those relationships. It almost sounds like an excuse, a way to dismiss responsibility.
I don't think it's about dismissing responsibility. I think it's about reframing control.
How so?
The future self is basically saying, look, there's a larger story playing out. a grander design. If someone's path was meant to go in a different direction, no amount of effort from you could have changed that permanently.
So the lesson is to stop blaming yourself for what was ultimately out of your hands.
Exactly. You can still learn from it, you can integrate the experience, but you release the grief that comes from feeling like you failed to keep them. Your future self is proof that your life's purpose didn't depend on them staying.
Okay, that distinction is crucial. Releasing the grief, but keeping the lesson. Let's move to the second pillar. Opportunity and regret.
Ah, the what-ifs.
The what-ifs that haunt us. And the Source says the future self addresses these with that same calm certainty. They say, the chances you missed, they weren't yours.
Which is such a massive shift in perspective, right? We live in this scarcity mindset. If I miss this one shot, that's it, it's over.
Right.
But the future self is saying, no. The opportunities that were truly meant for you, either they're still on their way or, and this is important, they actually showed up on the path you did take.
But again, let me be the skeptic here. How do you know the difference between a chance that wasn't yours and one you were just, too afraid to take? It could be a philosophical hall pass for inaction.
I see your point. But again, it comes back to the perspective of the messenger. They've lived the outcome.
They know how the story ends.
They know. They know that if you had taken that other chance, it would have knocked you off the path that led to them, this stronger, calmer, happier person.
So it reframes the missed chance not as a failure, but as successful navigation.
Yes. You successfully navigated around something that wasn't for you. And the Source mentions the calm, steady voice that delivers this. There's no anxiety left around that regret. It's just a fact.
The path they took worked, so it must have been the right one.
Which brings us perfectly to Pillar 3, mistakes and forgiveness.
This one feels like the ultimate act of grace, preemptive forgiveness.
It really is. The future self looks at you and says, the mistakes you made, they're already forgiven.
Wow.
And it synthesizes the first two pillars, really. If the people who left had to leave and the chances you missed weren't yours anyway.
And the mistakes you made along the way were just steps on that necessary path.
They were just steps. The future you has already done the hard work. They've processed the shame. They've learned the lesson. And they recognize that those screw-ups were actually critical to who they've become.
So the takeaway is just profound. If the healed, whole version of you has already forgiven these mistakes, why are you still carrying that weight today?
Why are you beating yourself up over it? The evidence is sitting right in front of you that the mistakes were not fatal.
They weren't fatal. They were formative.
Exactly. And once you lift those three weights, the people, the chances, the mistakes, this overarching theme of endurance can finally land.
The future self stands there as living proof and just says it. You survived everything you thought would destroy you.
And that line has so much power because of who's saying it.
Right. The Source describes their eyes as clear, confident, and peaceful.
They're not just quoting a self-help book. They've actually lived it. They have seen all your tomorrows.
And they confirm that good tomorrows are coming. It's not just a vague, it gets better.
No, it's specific. They confirm the victories are coming.
The moments of joy, the unexpected blessings.
And my favorite one, the quiet mornings where life finally makes sense.
Oh, that detail is so powerful. It's not about grand achievement. It's about a feeling of peace, of clarity.
It's a confirmation that the core confusion you might feel right now, it ends.
So if you had to boil down the entire payoff of this deep dive into one sentence, what would it be?
It's the simplest one in the whole text. After all the reframing and all the proof, the message is just, it turns out okay.
It turns out okay?
That's it. That simple, solid confirmation. And hearing that allows you to stop trying to frantically control every single variable.
Which leads us right to the end of the visit. The future self starts to fade away like a warm dream.
But not before leaving a very clear two-part action plan. This is the practical application of everything we've just talked about.
And it's so brilliantly simple.
It is. Part 1 is for right now, rest.
Tonight, sleep without fear.
It's permission. Permission to just disarm the anxiety for one night. You can rest because you've just been shown that the outcome is secure.
And then part 2 is for the morning. It's gentle. It's future-focused. Rise.
Tomorrow, you rise a little stronger.
That phrase, a little stronger, is everything. It's not you rise healed.
No, it's not a magic wand. It sets an achievable goal. It tells you that growth is incremental. You just have to be a little bit stronger than you were yesterday.
It's the perfect summary. Rest addresses the present pain, which is validated. Rising stronger applies the necessary growth which was confirmed.
Exactly.
And then comes the final moment. The future self puts a hand on your shoulder.
And delivers that last, deep, emotional truth.
I'm proud of you, more than you know.
So when we wrap this all up, what does this whole framework really mean for you, the listener, today?
For me, the ultimate nugget is about letting go of control, that anxious, obsessive need to manage the future.
Yes, the final instruction really is to let the future take care of itself. If your future self has already done the work, already secured the victory, your job is just to live today without that constant, exhausting fear of tomorrow.
So that leaves us with a final thought for you to take with you. If your future self has already witnessed every single one of your struggles, and they confirm that you not only survived them, but you are stronger, calmer, and whole because of them, how does that change the way you look at the biggest fear you're carrying right now?
Tonight, you have permission to rest in that knowledge.
Tomorrow you rise.